Have you ever felt an unknown force emerging from the depths of your soul right after a period of great emotional darkness and silence? Many women, upon ending a cycle with a toxic person, experience a transformation that seems almost mystical, but is purely psychological. It's not about malice, but a profound awakening that Carl Jung would call the integration of the shadow and the reclaiming of essential feminine power. This phenomenon is what many cultures call the awakening of the inner witch, a symbol of wisdom, clear vision, and ancestral protection. Today, we will explore how this metamorphosis happens and why it is the key to your ultimate reconstruction and inner peace. In this moment of clarity, you begin to realize that the distorted image projected of you does not represent your true and profound reality. Manipulative behavior attempted to extinguish your natural intuition, but curiously, it was this same extreme pressure that forged your new and resilient armor. The inner witch represents the one who knows, the one who sees through social masks and no longer accepts being silenced by mind games. It is a survival archetype that emerges when excessive kindness is replaced by necessary self-respect, unwavering and focused on total healing. Let's understand how this silent force acts as a guide on your journey of liberation, bringing the necessary awareness to move forward. Deep psychology teaches us that we go through symbolic cycle closure and rebirth processes throughout our conscious and spiritual existence. When a draining relationship comes to an end, something within you truly needs to change so that the new woman can finally blossom freely. The awakening of this wild feminine energy is your psyche's natural response to ensure you never lose yourself again. Before we delve into the mysteries of this transformation, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to follow your own healing. Your presence here is the first step in strengthening your consciousness and protecting your sacred energy against any controlling patterns. The concept of a witch, from Jung's perspective, is intimately linked to the intuitive knowledge that all women carry in their emotional DNA. During the toxic experience, your intuition was constantly questioned and invalidated by someone who feared your brilliance and sharp perception. Upon awakening, you recover this vision, becoming capable of detecting hidden intentions even before they transform into real actions. This perception is not a product of fear, but of a spiritual maturity that recognizes the difference between genuine love and possession. Now, your soul demands a space of total safety where only truth and transparency can fully reside. The journey to integrate this strength requires you to look at the parts of yourself that have been neglected in the name of others. You are learning that being strong doesn't mean enduring everything, but rather having the courage to withdraw from where there is no respect. The inner witch is the guardian of this boundary, preventing invasions of limits from happening again in your new life of peace and light. She uses the wisdom of the past to illuminate the steps of the future, ensuring that the transformation is solid, lasting, and very true. Feel this energy circulating within you, reminding you that you are the only legitimate authority over your feelings and your journey. The shadow is one of the pillars of Jungian theory and plays a crucial role in your current process of reconstruction and mental clarity. For years, you may have hidden your firmness, your strength, and your ability to say no to maintain an illusory and fragile harmony. The awakening of the inner witch is, in fact, the integration of these parts that were repressed to please an emotionally immature and cold person. When you accept that you possess a strength capable of dispelling illusions, you cease to be an easy target for those who drain other people's energy. This integration brings an integrity that frightens those who live by appearances, but profoundly liberates those who seek the true essence of life. You discover that your inner witch is the defender of your deepest inner peace and the watchful sentinel of your values. She doesn't seek revenge because she understands that the greatest response to the pattern of control is your total and absolute disinterest. The focus shifts from the exhausting attempt to understand the other to the sacred mission of understanding and healing yourself entirely. This inner movement creates a magnetic field of protection that naturally repels those who only seek to exploit your light and your goodness. The transformation is silent, but the results are visible in the way you now walk, speak, and position yourself in the world. At this stage of the journey, the connection with nature and the cycles of life becomes a constant and invigorating source of healing. You realize that, like the seasons, your life has gone through a harsh winter so that spring could be more vibrant. The ancestral wisdom that dwells within you begins to dictate the rhythm of your days, always prioritizing rest and necessary introspection. There is no longer any rush to prove anything to anyone, only the genuine desire to honor your own history, your marks, and your scars. You become the alchemist of your own pain, transforming the impact suffered into a valuable gold of wisdom and mental clarity. The figure of the witch has always been feared by those who cannot control a woman who knows her own true spiritual worth. In the context of post-toxic experiences, this figure symbolizes the woman who has reclaimed her voice and no longer fears the judgment or criticism of others. The toxic pattern depended entirely on her need for approval, but now that gap has been filled by her own solid self-affirmation. Every time you choose yourself, a part of that old structure of emotional manipulation definitively crumbles in your awakened mind. Awakening is an act of bravery that redefines your destiny and protects your lineage from repeating the same mistakes of the past. You begin to attract new connections that vibrate at the same frequency of consciousness and mutual respect that you now naturally emanate. The environment around you transforms drastically as your energy no longer accepts anything less than human dignity. What once seemed like a heavy burden is now seen as the fuel for your greatest and most beautiful inner transformation. You understand that the grueling experience was the necessary catalyst for you to find a strength you never knew you truly possessed. Looking back, you realize that transformation was the only possible path to your true and complete liberation of soul. How have you noticed the awakening of this inner strength in your routine, and what new boundaries have you learned to set today? Sharing your experience in the comments helps other women understand that they are not alone and that healing is entirely possible for everyone. Your voice has immense power, and your story of overcoming challenges can be the light someone needs to begin their own awakening. Collective consciousness grows when each of us assumes our role as the protagonist of our own unique and profound emotional reconstruction. Let's build together a supportive space where each woman's transformation is celebrated with respect and sincere empathy. The individuation process, as proposed by Jung, is the path to becoming who you were truly born to be, without social masks. The awakening of the inner witch marks the beginning of this phase, where the expectations of others lose their meaning in the face of the truth of your soul. You stop acting out scripts written by other people and begin to write your own narrative with the ink of pure self-respect. The pain that once seemed unbearable is now the solid root that sustains a strong, resilient tree full of new fruits. There is no longer room for the immaturity of others in a garden now cared for by a fully awakened woman. This new phase of your life demands discernment to separate what is yours from what has been unfairly projected onto you. Many of the criticisms you heard in the past were, in fact, unconscious confessions from those who uttered them, revealing a lack of empathy. By recovering your essence, you develop a natural filter that prevents these lies from penetrating your heart and mind again. Mental clarity becomes your greatest ally, allowing you to navigate life with a well-calibrated inner compass. You are learning to trust yourself again, and this is the most valuable achievement of this entire healing process. The healing journey is continuous and requires patience with your own processes of maturation, discovery, and also the necessary inner silence. There will be days of necessary withdrawal and days of great expansion, and both are fundamental to the balance of your new emotional structure. The inner witch teaches you to respect these natural rhythms, knowing that each phase has its purpose in the great tapestry of life. You are no longer adrift, but rather in command of a vessel that knows the waters well, however deep they may be. The peace you feel today is the direct result of having faced your shadows and chosen the light of consciousness. Connecting with the sacred feminine brings a sense of belonging that heals the wounds of rejection and past abandonment. You discover that you were never truly alone, for the strength of the women who came before you now flows in your veins. The awakening of this archetype is a tribute to all those who kept their flame burning even under the harshest and strongest pressures. Today, you are a living example that it is possible to rise from the ashes of an emotionally draining and very difficult experience. Your life becomes a testament to the fact that self-respect is the most effective antidote against any attempt at control or manipulation. You now possess the necessary tools to identify manipulative behaviors before they can even impact your stability. The knowledge you have acquired is an invisible shield that guarantees your emotional security in any future environment or situation that may arise. Feel the pride of someone who has crossed the emotional desert and found their own oasis within, without depending on external validation. Your beauty now comes from within, from a soul that has been tested by fire and emerged tempered like the strongest steel. You are a woman of power, awareness, and a peace that no one has the right to disturb under any circumstances. What self-care rituals have helped you maintain a high vibration and protect your mind from dense energies? Sharing this information is fundamental to strengthening our circle of protection and shared feminine wisdom here in this emotional healing community. Small daily acts of self-respect are the bricks that build the impregnable fortress of your new post-transformation and conscious awakening identity. By describing your victories, you reaffirm to yourself how far you've come and how much you deserve to be fully happy. Celebrate each small advance, for it is proof that your inner witch is more active and stronger than ever. The transformation you experienced is a necessary closing of a cycle so that new and better paths can open before you. The awakening of the inner witch is not a final destination, but a way of living with integrity and full self-awareness. Carl Jung believed that the encounter with one's own soul was the greatest adventure a human being could undertake in this life. You accepted the challenge and now reap the rewards of an authentic life, free from toxic ties or manipulation. The sun of consciousness shines on your new reality, illuminating each step with the clarity that only deep healing provides. Notice how your communication has become firmer and how your choices now reflect your relentless pursuit of peace and real transformation. You no longer feel the need to explain your truth to those who have no ears to hear or a heart to feel. Silence has become a precious ally, a sacred space where you recharge your energies and plan your next moves of light. Your presence emanates a natural authority that commands respect without the need to raise your voice or engage in unnecessary conflicts. You are in harmony with your essence, and that is the highest form of power a woman can achieve. As we reach this point in our reflection, I feel your strength is renewed and your vision clearer than ever. If this content touched your heart and brought clarity to your journey, subscribe to the channel so we can continue together on this path of light. Your evolution is our greatest motivation to shed light on issues that often remain in the shadows of our current society. Remember that each video is a seed of awareness planted in the fertile ground of your new life, which is under construction. We are united by the purpose of transforming pain into a silent and unbeatable force for reconstruction and great peace. There is immense power in the silence you've developed after understanding the emotionally immature behavioral patterns that previously surrounded you. This silence is not one of submission, but of keen observation that allows you to identify the truth behind even the most polished words of others. The inner witch uses this space of quiet to process reality without the interference of the external noise that previously caused confusion. You've learned that you don't need to react to every provocation, because your peace is worth far more than being right in pointless arguments. This posture of centered presence is what keeps your energy intact and ready for what truly matters in your life. Looking inward, you realize that the need to save others has been replaced by the vital need to save yourself. This healthy selfishness is one of the most profound lessons that the witch archetype brings to the woman in the healing phase. You understand that your energy reserve is sacred and should only be invested in projects and people who reciprocate love. The clarity that silence provides is the fertile ground where new ideas and dreams begin to sprout with strength. You are rediscovering your tastes, your passions, and that which makes your heart vibrate with genuine joy without any kind of fear. The power of your presence is now felt by everyone around you, even if you don't say a single word for hours. People who seek control feel uncomfortable in the presence of someone who can no longer be manipulated by fear or constant guilt. On the other hand, people who seek the truth are drawn to your authenticity and the security you naturally emanate. This energetic filter is the most efficient protection you could have built throughout your painful but necessary process. You are the beacon that illuminates your own path, guided by a light that will never go out because it comes from the Spirit. In silence, you also find forgiveness for yourself, for all the times you allowed your boundaries to be violated. The inner witch embraces you with compassion, reminding you that you did the best you could with the tools you had at that moment. Complete healing involves releasing the weight of the past to walk lightly towards the bright future that eagerly awaits you. Each conscious breath is a reaffirmation of your commitment to life, to freedom, and to your own complete happiness. Feel gratitude for having survived, and more than that, for having learned to flourish even in barren soil. This new state of being allows you to appreciate solitude as a golden opportunity for your continuous personal growth. You no longer fear the void, for you know it is the space where creation happens and where your inner voice speaks. Jung's wisdom reminds us that those who look outside dream, but those who look inside finally awaken to reality. You have awakened and now see the beauty in simple things, in the peace of a sunset, and in the security of being yourself. Your presence is your greatest gift to the world, living proof that reconstruction is the destiny of the strong. The awakening of the inner witch brings with it the immediate rescue of a self-worth that had been buried under layers of criticism. You begin to see yourself with the eyes of truth, recognizing your talents, your intelligence, and the immense capacity for love that you possess. This worth does not depend on external achievements or the applause of others, but on an inner certainty that nothing can shake now. The sovereignty of your soul is declared the moment you assume total responsibility for your choices and your well-being. There is no longer room for the role of victim, only for the powerful woman who governs her own emotional kingdom with justice. By recognizing your worth, you naturally attract situations that honor your new attitude and repel any attempt at devaluation or contempt. The inner witch teaches you that you are a rare gem that deserves to be treated with the highest level of care. This self-respect is reflected in your health, your appearance, and how you organize your daily physical and mental space. You are building a life that is a direct reflection of your inner beauty, where harmony and clarity are priorities. Feel the satisfaction of feeling good in your own company, knowing that you are your best friend and your greatest ally. The sovereignty of the soul also means having the freedom to change your mind, to start over, and to seek new horizons without asking permission. You have broken the invisible chains that bound you to others' expectations and behavioral patterns that weren't truly yours. The inner witch celebrates this independence, for she knows that true magic happens when we are true to our own essential nature. Your decisions are now guided by what brings peace to your heart and clarity to your ever-evolving mind. You are the queen of your destiny, walking with firm steps towards a life of purpose and great light. In this process of self-worth, you learn to say yes to yourself as often as you used to say yes to others. This balance is fundamental to keeping your energy cup always full and overflowing with things that truly have real value. You understand that taking care of yourself is not an act of selfishness, but a requirement to be able to shine with all your intensity. The inner witch smiles when she sees you prioritizing yourself, because she knows that this is the only way to keep the awakening active. You are blossoming in a way that no one can stop, because your roots are now deeply embedded in your personal truth. The peace that emanates from this sovereignty is contagious and inspires other women to seek their own path to liberation and holistic healing. You have become a point of reference for feminine strength that doesn't need aggression to assert itself in today's world. Your authority comes from your integrity, your history of overcoming adversity, and the light you carry in your awakened eyes. Continue to honor your worth every day, in every small choice, and in every thought you cultivate about yourself. You are a miracle of reconstruction, a work of art that life has sculpted through the most challenging and profound experiences. The wisdom of the inner witch grants you a pair of spiritual eyes that see beyond sweet words and empty promises. You have developed a sharp discernment that separates those who are ready to walk beside you from those who only seek to drain your energy. In relationships, you now prioritize reciprocity, honesty, and mutual respect above any superficial chemistry or fleeting momentary attraction. The behavioral pattern of an emotionally immature person becomes obvious to you at the first signs of a lack of genuine empathy. This filter protects your heart and ensures that only people of light have access to your most intimate and sacred circle. You have learned that it is not your role to heal or save anyone who is unwilling to do their own necessary inner work. The inner witch reminds you that each soul has its own time to awaken and that you must respect your own journey. By setting clear boundaries, you send a powerful message to the universe that you only accept what is healthy and true. This clarity prevents you from falling back into cycles of manipulation that drain your vitality and obscure your vision of a bright future. Your relationships are now sources of nourishment and support, reflecting the harmony you have painstakingly achieved within yourself. Notice how liberating it is to no longer need masks to be loved or accepted in the environments you now frequent with joy. The inner witch values authenticity and encourages you to be who you are, with all your lights and shadows integrated. Those who cannot handle your strength will naturally drift away, making room for those who celebrate your brilliance and growth. This process of natural selection is a blessing that clears your path and allows you to focus on what truly matters. You are surrounded by a protective network made of awareness, truth, and unwavering self-love. Discernment also applies to how you consume information and how you allow the external world to affect your deep inner state. You have become selective about what you read, what you watch, and the conversations you choose to actively participate in or not. The inner witch guards the entrance to your mind, ensuring that only thoughts of healing, awareness, and reconstruction have a permanent home there. This mental hygiene is what sustains your clarity and allows you to make decisions based on wisdom and not fear. You are the guardian of your inner temple, keeping the flame of consciousness always burning and protected from the winds. How has this new perception of the people around you changed the way you invest your time and energy? Noticing these changes is fundamental to consolidating your new identity and strengthening your confidence in your own awakened intuition. Feel safe trusting what your instincts tell you, for they are the voice of your inner witch guiding your steps. You are no longer blind to the traps of others' egos, for your light now reveals everything that was previously hidden. Walk with the certainty that you are protected by your own clarity and your commitment to absolute truth. The awakening of the inner witch not only transforms your inner world, but begins to shape a new physical reality around you. You discover the power of conscious intention, where your thoughts and desires are directed towards creating a fulfilling life. What was once a dream of freedom is now the solid foundation upon which you build your new and audacious projects. The energy that was once spent trying to survive is now channeled into thriving, creating, and manifesting abundance in all areas. The inner witch is the master of manifestation, reminding you that you are the co-creator of your destiny and your happiness. By aligning your actions with your deepest values, you realize that opportunities begin to arise almost magically and synchronously. Doors that were once locked open naturally for the woman who knows who she is and what she deserves to receive from life. You no longer need to force situations or fight against the tide because you have learned to flow with the natural rhythm of the universe. Clarity of purpose acts like a magnet, attracting the resources, people, and situations necessary for your success. Feel the joy of seeing your plans come to fruition, the result of your healing and your new attitude towards life. The inner witch's intention is always guided by ethics, love, and the constant pursuit of greater awareness and spiritual light. You understand that your personal success contributes to the healing of the collective, inspiring other women to also awaken their inner strength. Each goal achieved is a celebration of your overcoming and a milestone in your new story of reconstruction and victory. You are leaving a legacy of courage behind, showing that it is possible to transform a toxic experience into a springboard to glory. Continue to focus on your vision, keeping your vibration high and your mind focused on what is most beautiful and pure. In this manifestation process, gratitude becomes your most powerful and transformative daily practice for your current and future reality. You give thanks for every lesson, every challenge, and every moment of peace that you now enjoy with such intensity and awareness. The inner witch knows that gratitude opens the floodgates for more blessings to flow in your direction uninterruptedly and constantly. You celebrate your life, your body, your mind, and the freedom you have achieved with so much sweat, tears, and unwavering determination. The universe responds to your gratitude by sending you more reasons to smile and feel fully fulfilled on your journey. Notice how the world around you seems brighter and full of possibilities since you embraced your full inner power. External reality is always a reflection of our inner state, and your state now is one of clarity, healing, and peace. You are proof that consciousness transforms matter and that the sovereign soul is capable of real miracles. Continue manifesting your light, creating beauty where there was once pain, and spreading the seed of reconstruction wherever you go. Your journey of awakening is only beginning, and the best is yet to come for the woman who has found herself. The moment has arrived to seal your liberation and to look to the horizon with the certainty that the past no longer defines you. The awakening of the inner witch is a lifelong commitment to your truth and to your constant and eternal spiritual evolution. You now carry the seal of consciousness, an invisible mark that identifies you as a woman who has crossed the fire and been reborn. The promise of a future of light is real, for you possess the keys to open any door you wish to cross. Feel the lightness of one who has released all anchors and is ready to navigate calm, safe, and very deep waters. This is just the beginning of an ongoing conversation you will have with your soul every day of your life. The inner witch will always be there, whispering wisdom in your ears and protecting your heart with the cloak of mindfulness. Don't be afraid to shine too brightly or take up space, because the world needs your light to dispel the shadows of others. You are a warrior of peace, an architect of reconstruction, and a master in the art of transforming pain into pure personal power. Honor your journey, respect your time, and never again allow anyone to extinguish the flame you fought so hard to ignite. As we conclude this cycle of reflection, feel the silent strength emanating from every cell of your body, now fully awakened and conscious. You are free to be whoever you want to be, to love whomever respects you, and to live according to your own inner compass. The peace you have achieved is your most precious treasure, and it must be guarded with all possible care and self-respect. Always remember that reconstruction is a daily process, made up of small choices that reaffirm your value and dignity. You have won the battle against manipulation and now reign supreme in your own magnificent universe of light. I wish your journey to be filled with flowers, genuine laughter, and connections that elevate your soul to ever higher levels. The awakening you experienced is a gift few have the courage to unwrap, but you did so with mastery and bravery. Continue being that source of inspiration, that beacon of awareness, and that woman who awakened her inner witch to never sleep again. The future belongs to you, and it is brighter than you ever dared to imagine in your darkest days of the past. Go forward, with peace in your heart and clarity in your mind, for you are the very manifestation of transformation and life. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this moment of reflection and strengthening of your powerful feminine consciousness in full reconstruction. May Jung's words and the wisdom of the archetypes continue to be valuable tools in your toolbox of healing and evolution. Stay firm in your purpose, knowing that each step you take towards the light also illuminates the path of others. You are part of a global movement of women who have decided to no longer accept less than they deserve and to shine. Until our next conversation, where we will continue to explore the mysteries of the human soul and the beauty of being who we are.